Hello everybody, my name is Paul from Cryonetic, continuing the Blender to Unreal character creation series. Today what we'll do is we'll be fine-tuning this armor piece a little bit more using a method of topology and a subdivision surface to add it a little bit more of a smooth metal texture look. So let's get started. First thing, we're just going to deselect everything and then Shift A to create a plane. And just rotate that up and move it in front of our model there. Just using Control while you're moving it or scaling it, just to make sure that you snap to the surface. Okay, tab to go into edit mode, hit Control R and cut this piece in half and then delete the right side of it. Then using mirror modifier. Now the mirror modifier, basically just everything you do on the left side, it will duplicate on the right side. So you'll see if I move anything over there. One thing you want to do is just enable clipping. Otherwise, if you don't, you will get a little bit of a model tear there. So once you do that, you'll see that it just allows you to move it like that. Okay, so with that done, let's start lining up these objects. So I'm going to do the polygons fairly spaced out. I don't want to like throw one piece in there because I do want to just be able to extract and then just scale up. There we go. And just every time you do that, just move up your vertices. There we go. Okay, that looks pretty good so far, but we have no indication of whether this would look good on that armor piece or not. So one thing I'm going to recommend doing before we continue is just here at the bottom, enable snap during transform. I'm going to snap to face, and then here project individual elements on the surface of an object. You click that, then you select everything, hold G, and it will automatically snap to your already sculpted model that you have there. It's a very nice tool to keep handy while you're busy working on your model. Okay, so I just want to continue this piece over here. Just make sure that when you're busy working on these polygons, you don't stretch them out too far. Obviously, something like that would be a bit too much stretching. Just make them look fairly neat and roughly the same size. So let's extract here. Also, another thing to keep in mind, it projects the snapping from the view angle you're at. So if you're viewing from this angle and you like move it a little bit, or from this angle you move it to like there, it will snap to a different side. So just make sure that whichever angle you pick is the correct one, just to get the sizing and the spacing right. Okay, it's maybe a bit much. Make sure, because I just want these to line up a little bit better. I didn't focus too much on the lining up when I was doing that. Extract it there. There we go. Once you get it all the way to the other side, it will automatically snap because of the clipping. If you just quickly want to make a change, you can disable clipping and then make the change. But I'm pretty happy with where it went so far. Just move everything that it looks okay. Now I'm just going to hit the little slash key just so you can see. Okay, we got the armor piece. Okay, so let's continue over here. So I'm going to make a little bit of a change to this part over here because I thought that this armor piece would look good if it's like just a quick piece that you slide over your shoulders and then you just put your arms in on this side and this side over here, and then the rest underneath would be like your body armor clothing or something like that. So as this design is now ever changing, just keep in mind when you're busy working on things that you can change as much as what you want. Okay, so let's just go back into our reference and then just see what we can do. So I think I'm going to extend this piece just up here. Just going to delete that piece. Put this as such. I'm just trying to keep to how the original model was forming, so let's just see. It still looks okay. Then I think I just want to going to extrude this and then create a face there. As I want this piece to actually blend a little bit better, so I might just do that and fill those faces, and then of course let's just extrude here. Then just merge those two. Sorry, at some point it seems that I had a click through and I just deleted those, so that's why just control undid so many levels, so just make sure you don't do that. Okay, I think I want to move that a little bit more up. Same here. Let's get closer to over there. Try we can do this as well. To fill those faces. Fill those and fill over there. And just for measure, I think I'm going to cut that so that we have a bit more geometry to work with over here, here, and there. Okay, so I'm just going to select all the way from here and then just extrude again, and then I'm going to start moving my way upwards towards top of the model there, towards the shoulder. We're just going to keep on doing that as many times as it's necessary. You don't have to move everything every single time into place if you are confident that your lines are fairly straight. But I'm just doing it to make sure that everything looks okay. Let's see. Okay, now I'm just going to go into this side over here. Then do the same thing but from the opposite end. And let's just see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows, and we only have 4 over here. It's because we did a loop cut on that side, so I'm going to do 1 over here, I think 1 over there, to bring us up to 5 from here. So I'm just quickly going to extract and get them roughly to about the same location, and then I'm just going to fill these faces. Just move them out again. Okay, then I'm just going to start working on this piece. Now the reason I actually did this separately was because there's a little bit more detail or a little bit more work that has to go, because this is kind of like a almost like a lever piece that I wanted to create around the neck area. So it's a little bit more finer detail, so I just wanted to do it separately, but you could have, when we were busy extracting all the other pieces, you could have done it all together. It really didn't matter. I just prefer to do it this way. Might run into a little bit of trouble here as we just space them out a little bit better. Okay, no, it doesn't seem like it. For a second I thought we might have to use like a triangle over here, which I tend to avoid. You want to make sure that everything is quads as far as what you create your model as possible, because of the modifiers we're going to add in a little bit later. Okay, and then there's just 2 more pieces to go. This piece, extract, and then extract, and just do that. Okay, just go to local view, and that actually looks pretty good. If you hit smooth, you'll see the nice details. I might get rid of this little bump at the back, because that was just purely created at the end of my concept phase, because I wasn't exactly 100% sure what I was going to do with the model. Yeah, let's get rid of it. So I'm just going to disable snapping here, and just going to select these, go into the side view, move them in. And do the same with the other ones. Okay, now I'm going to show you what you do with the subdivision surface modifier. So let's just go back into local view. Well, I'm just going to save this out before I make any more changes to it. Just call it base sculpt 02. And then show you that you add a modifier here, subdivision surface, and just do it for 2 levels. Now just set your shading to smooth, and then you see that, okay, a little bit more detail gets added, does look a little bit better, but we want to get like little fine armor lines and things in between. So what I want to do is, I think I'm going to take from about there. Well, first things first, what I want to do is take from here. I don't think I can. Let's try and extrude. Disable clipping. Okay, it won't allow me to extrude. Might not look very well because we created this piece over here. Okay, let's continue on with what I was originally planning. Let's just select all the edges around the corner here. And then everything inside of it. And then E to extrude. Just a little bit up. And then you'll see that it created like a edges up like that. So they don't look very metal-like. Let's just move them around a little bit more, because you want them to be inside. There we go. Okay. Using Control R, I just want to make sure that that's in the right spot. Control R around the edges that you extruded there. So around these over here. You just add like a couple, I think 4 or 5 levels should be fine. And once you've done that, you see that it automatically starts creating like a smooth edge around the area. I'm a little bit confused why it's doing this over here. I just want to double check smooth shading. That's because smooth shading wasn't enabled. Let's just double check that again. There we go. As you can see, you got like a nice armor piece here. The reason why this isn't doing it properly is because I didn't pull that out. So let's just try that. You just have to make sure that all your edges are right before you apply this, because it's a little bit difficult to fix it later on. So there you go, you got a nice smooth chest piece over there. Now we're going to repeat the process with all the edges basically. I want everything around here. I'm going to extrude it, just drag it down, extrude, and then scale it in. I'm going to move this so that it clips on, it has to clip on. One. Then you drag it kind of back up, and you can see that the armor kind of goes out and then goes back up. And then you also do Control R, add a couple of levels, and then you see another smooth edge around there. So you just basically keep on doing this wherever you want your smooth edges to be. I just want to see how that would look. I don't think it would look well here, but maybe if we extrude piece over here, we add it in over there. Scale it in, move it a little bit inwards, and then try again. Alright, so that's a little bit more of a armor look to it. We're going to start, you can start by fooling around a little bit more, see where you want to add in your own little smooth edges and things like that. Now, this is no replacement for sculpting. You can still go into like sculpt mode over here and go like grab a couple of things around and start moving them out. So this is just so that you can get your edges a little bit smoother and get the basis of your armor pretty accurate. And then later on we can like come into sculpting and just add a little bit more details over there, smooth things out, and so on. As we won't be using dynamic topology further on if we're going to use sculpting, it won't be adding anything, so it won't really be changing the model all that much. If you like what you saw, please subscribe to my channel, and I thank you all very much for watching. Thank you, bye-bye.